just play around them. We've got people coming in at night, using the gym as well, Tuesdays,
Taekwondo, all that.
Fridays,
So you just want to
Sundays.
push to the end?
That's one thing.
I think that would help out too if they were
Yeah.
put aside
Yep.
every night, because the kids are coming here. I mean, one day I heard like 10 kids in there, and the nets were just like all over the place. So I had to put them to the
I
side.
didn't know that.
That's
But
what
I-
Paula, I was trying to mention that to you last night, and I did mention it to a couple of players that I played with. We need to start taking the responsibility as the pickleball players to get them back against the wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cindy and everybody there at the end told them about it.
I
Because
thought-
I'm watching while we're playing, I can't see where the wear and tear and the tear up is
Right.
happening.
I thought
during
that there were
play.
people coming in during the week, playing during the day.
No.
Over the gym.
No,
Like
it's-
the kids.
So, I mean, there's sometimes people come in, but they'll just use half the court for pickleball.
Not a problem. We will
But yeah,
decide.
there's, I mean, 3 o'clock, we got high schoolers in that gym.
Yeah, we need to start taking them. in and out.
During the summer though, it was nonstop all day long with kids. Ability, they'll bring children in.
Yeah.
Homeschool kids come in too. So I think that would help them a lot.
I think a lot of us just, we're not there at that time, so we didn't necessarily see that. Like being down at Orchard, over there with Donnie, with, Victor practicing, that's what I see going on. Tonight, when we went down there with Jim, the whole other side was just booming. I mean, the cheerleaders were down there in the one little grassy spot, all that different stuff, and I just never see that.
That's cool, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what's on your mind?
Well, just a couple of other things. Some of the park boards that I've been involved with before, one of the things that we always started with is a citizen survey. What are the citizens that are using our parks in St. Clair, what do they want to see? Have you guys ever done a citizen survey?
No, we don't inform and actually pay your
Gotcha.
time.
Would you guys be interested, if I was willing to help with something like that, would you be interested in doing something like that? Let me explain. So when you do something like that, we take it to the elected officials and we say, listen, this is what your constituents want to see. And we rank them. We rank what improvements do you want to see in your parks? And we find out for sure. Now listen, we all know that we're not going to give 5,000 responses, right? If you get 500, you're probably lucky. But if you get 500, you're probably dealing with people that are using your park. Those are the people that you're dealing with. I'm not telling you how to run your board, but I am telling you that I've seen some success in using those to drive agendas forward.
So this be digital surveys or?
I'd have to do some
I mean,
research.
There'd be probably too much cost on that one survey, so you would almost have to be.
I think we could do it fairly cheap.
Something on the Facebook page,
I mean, they have a very,
Right.
St. Clair Succeed.
Yeah.
You put it out there because somebody put it out there about the soccer fields, wanting lighting. Well, you had 100 replies on there. So if you put it out there on social media, you're going to get your answers.
We also obviously have, we send out the utility bills every month. We can direct people to a specific, to like you can do these free surveys. We can do this on the cheap. I'm not saying that we're going to spend thousands of dollars to bring some consultant in. I mean, Chris is going to kill me if I say stuff like that. I'm not going to do that. But there could be ways that we could research, and sometime over the winter, maybe we could put together some kind of survey and find out. And then you guys can all share it, share the links, and then we can get that information together and bring it to one of your park board meetings, and you guys can actually see what your citizens are thinking and get a little bit of their perspective, because they're the audience here, right? I mean, they're the audience that we're looking at, and I know some of you are that audience as well, right? So that's one thing that I think would be beneficial if we were to look at something like that. Another thing is, I would just like to know what kind of leagues that we have going on in our parks and who's running it.
So there's associations set up for each one. Baseball, there's a baseball association. They play over at Iron Hill, which Iron Hill is completely separate from the Parks Department. That's all, by the baseball association, bills are kept up by the baseball association, all equipment.
So it's a private organization?
Yes, but I mean, the teams are all sponsored from businesses within the city. You have St. Clair Soccer Association. They tend to play the younger kids, do play over at Orchard. And I think you're still playing at Evergreen too.
There was kids there.
Both of them. So that one relies on the parks with the exception of, I think, once they get junior high school, then they play on the turf field at the high school.
So they're using our facilities?
They are using the facilities, and they do pay a criminal charge on that.
Sure, okay.
So I mean, I know that, I remember paying like $1,200 a year, or something like that.
It's
It's
800.
800. I can't really check that in a long time, I was on, so it's been a while. So it's 800 a year on that.
So that's baseball and soccer, those are two biggies?
Junior dog football.
Oh, football.
We run about 110 kids for our organization. So we
That is big.
Parksville Field where, but we all jam on the baseball field. It's all 14, it's 14 with 110 kids. And so you're right there in the baseball field. It's really no longer utilized, other than some softball, pickup games or whatever. But, yeah, there's a lot of space really,
Yeah.
especially with football and soccer starting at the same time. I know soccer signs, they use between all age groups, you have like 200 kids. You're talking, that's 350 kids between the two of them that have to try to cram in 5 days a week into one little space.
But it's all kind of organized by a private group, not by the city.
Yeah, there's associations. Yeah, we just pay fees, and I'm vice president of the football league, so we just pay fees to the city, and then we just use the park for seasonal purposes.
Gotcha.
And I'm retired from high school baseball, and I'm retired graduate from soccer.
Retired.
Who's the other football team that plays at Belgium?
So we have a semi-pro team in the city as well, and they went from us as well to play at Evergreen.
We got a semi-pro team in the city? Football or?
They play at Orchard.
I'll play with them.
That's pretty neat.
Sorry.
This was their second year and they won it all.
That's cool. Were you gonna say something there?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. I'm gonna check that out. I didn't realize that.
Donnie played for them.
Now, oh, wow, okay. Offense, defense?
All of it.
All of it, okay. Do we have any activities that are actually organized by the city?
There's disco. I forgot about disco.
So we have disc golf course too? Is it a good one? You like it? You play? Okay.
So it's probably been 25 years, probably since we had a parks director. So I just sat in that little office in the corner and orchestrated 5-on-5 basketball leagues, tennis tournaments.
But we did have that in the past?
We did that. I remember being a kid and we'd always have men's leagues and things like that. The city hall was always packed.
We always had volleyball
There's
tournaments,
volleyball
like
tournaments.
volleyball.
Sand volleyball, there was all kinds of stuff that was going on, but there's nobody now currently to orchestrate that.
Yeah, we don't have a parks manager right now.
They won't
And
let
that's
you
been
do
a
that.
supervisor.
No supervisor.
That's been a conversation that our board has had.
So,
How do we bring those tournaments back?
Well, then, let's just, give me that discussion real quick, if you don't mind. Where we at, what's your all's feeling on that?
so I can tell you, being a big sports guy here, we have soccer and everything. I mean, we have nice enough facilities that are upkept. You can host these tournaments and bring the city money. We cannot use the concession stand for anything that's at Orchard Park right now currently, besides to store things, especially for football. We keep all the football pads in there. But get that baseball field fixed up. I don't know what it costs now, but I know 5 years ago that the American Legion in the city got stuck with a $24,000 bill putting rock they split. our chat on there for the baseball field, we fixed up the American Legion. Our American Legion program is growing huge, they can host games there, tournaments there, just things like that, I mean, it just has to happen.
And we also have an amphitheater that is never used, and a huge building that we just put a new roof on, or somebody put a roof on now.
Yeah. You guys got me at a disadvantage because I'm getting my tour tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, so
I see all these things we're talking about.
I'm gonna see all this stuff, so at least I'm adding this stuff to my list, so I appreciate it.
No, park supervisor was discussed, like a park superintendent, and
So I know there was some animosity, that's definitely, I know there's some things going on, somebody who wanted to apply for the job who is probably, if somebody's being honest, is probably Mr. St. Clair. I mean, everybody kind of knows that his hands in, he's involved at the high school level, he announced every softball game, every football, you know, he's part of the football game, everything. And he was interested in this job. Now, if somebody would have cornered the fellow and kind of harnessed him in and maybe had a rational conversation with him, it probably would have been very beneficial for him. Because he was willing to take a pay cut. The guy's a union laborer who was willing to give up the benefits to be Mr. St. Clair.
he wasn't even considered.
Right.
So a supervisor was hired, and I'll leave it there.
So we do have one,
A supervisor?
as far as park supervisor.
We have a park supervisor, yes. I'll meet him tomorrow. I will
don't
tell
know
you
his-
his
I don't know
name
how to say his last name, it's Dino.
when I learn it.
Oh,
Oh, that's who
his name
Dino
was-
is?
That's who
Oh,
he's
okay.
the
So I
park-
didn't hear the name a couple meetings ago, Dino was his name, but I don't think you ever really met the guy either. So
I
I've
have.
only met him once.
I see this list.
It's not that,
No,
I don't know.
I think he would have been a great fit. That's my personal opinion.
Mine too.
Mine too.
Well, like I said, I can only go forward, so this is what I have right here, right now, this is what we're gonna work with. And we'll kind of see where that goes. But if you guys, would you guys support moving forward with some kind of park manager?
The parks director.
Well, a director,
We need somebody that will organize concerts in the park,
yeah.
you know.
A director indicates that you're over multiple departments. Manager is the manager of the department. It would be a park manager.
Gotcha.
No, and I agree with that. I mean, somebody who is willing to do the legwork in order to organize things. I mean, we put one event together, and it goes on every year, but we actually put a little effort into it, changed up the scenery a little bit. It was a pretty good turnout at the park.
It's
Yeah, for
For like a spur of the moment kind of
Yeah.
deal. We got our Freedom Fest this year, we got beer garden, we got bands.
I read about that.
And so, obviously, we didn't generate a major amount of revenue, but that's not what it's about. It's about just getting people out to the parks. And I feel like there was about a 2-hour window where people kind of died down in the heat of the day, but for the most part, the park was filled all day long with kids.
Are you guys gonna do it next summer?
I mean, that's the goal, right? To start having more of these events.
So historically, the park board has done 2 major events, the Freedom Fest, which is the last Saturday in June, that ends with fireworks before the July, and then the Christmas parade, which is the second Saturday in December. Usually there's events on Main Street prior to the parade, and then the parade starts at the school and goes down Main Street and ends at Evergreen Park. So those are the 2 big events. In the past, there have been other smaller events, Movie in the Park. They've done, we did a bike race out at the airport property one time. We did a rummage on the runways in the airport property. There's been lots of other smaller events, but those have been the 2 major events that have been.
I thought you said there was a Easter egg hunt.
And the Easter egg hunt, yeah, that started 3 years ago, so.
Is that a park board thing?
Yeah, yeah. And so that's, I want to say that started in '21, so we've had 3 of those.
This was first year.
What?
So this was first year.
Yeah, it was so cold this year.
I like the Easter egg hunts. I created one in the town that I came from, and so those are near and dear to my heart. I like getting out there and getting the kids riled up and then watching them pick all the eggs up in like 5 minutes,
So
right?
you're new here, right? So like in 2 weeks, it's homecoming.
Yeah.
You're gonna get an opportunity to see really what the community's all about. I mean, it's probably one of the largest parades we have, whether it's the Christmas parade or what have you, but, there'll be kids everywhere.
I just approved the permit.
Yeah, the city participation is huge. I mean, there's people everywhere. And so that is the main goal, right? Like, so why I invest and what Billy did before me, you know, with the Little League programs, and like Clayton did, and the other people, it's really just to give back to the youth, right? For the future. I think that some of this stuff gets hung up in the hands of the people who are in that retirement mode and looking to kind of ease into themselves when they forget about the kids. Give kids something to do, they don't tear up their stuff. I mean, when I grew up here, we had something called the dog pound. I don't even know who started that. I think it was your ex's mother or something that opened up where the old post office would be. We had video arcade in there. We could go in there and hang out. We had youth dances at the VFW Hall or the Elks and like things to do. I'm not saying that we were perfect kids, but there was still plenty of stuff for idle hands to do that didn't tear anything up.
4 cell phones?
Before that.
Okay, let's check it.
I mean, just give them a place to go sit and play on their cell phone. I don't know, but I mean, just something to get them out
There's
of
almost
out of
always an
streets.
arcade on Main Street, you know,
Yeah.
growing up. We had the big festivals and.
Yeah.
I'm a big geek, I love arcades. Do we still have one?
We do now.
Just opened back up.
Oh.
Well, new one open.
Yeah.
Coin up one,
Cool.
Well, which is good. I mean, so that's kind of the mindset, I think, of the whole park board is to try to move forward towards that kind of, those activities. I mean,
About the kids.
right, I mean, we're here. Ultimately, you want the people to stay here. Not really stay here, branch out, live life, but come back and invest in the town, you know? I left for a handful of years and came back to raise my family here and have them involved in everything that I got to enjoy as a kid. I mean, and I think it's kind of what everybody else does too.
We want to be proud of our community.
Well, I'm big on looking at the positive and trying to find the positive in things. And I will tell you that this morning, I spent the morning with our building department touring the different projects that are going on in the city. And I did a count during that process. And I'd say within the next 6 to 8 months, you're gonna have close to 150 new apartments opening up in your city. That has potential to really bring a lot of people into this area. And it also has potential for us to see a lot more use in our parks, a lot more people in the football leagues and the baseball leagues and the basketball leagues or whatever the other leagues. You guys mentioned soccer, that's right, I'm not big on soccer. But, so I think there's some potential for growth here. I think that there's also some commercial potential coming into town as well. So I think there's a lot of potential here, and I'm excited about helping everybody kind of move things forward for sure.
And Chris could attest to this. When you're sitting here trying to move into a new town, you're gonna look at certain, you're gonna look at the schools. You're gonna look at your neighborhoods, and you're gonna look at the parks, especially here in the town. And you don't want someone coming up to, coming into St. Clair and looking at a park that's, run down or not taken care of, maintained, or it doesn't give them the options that they want with their kids. They're just gonna go, oh, community got a nice park over there, or let's all move to Washington or New Haven or wherever.
The Facebook has run off a lot of people lately because of when somebody says, I'm moving to town, tell me, and they get all the negative stuff. Nobody has anything positive to say. So, people are like, you're telling me this is a great place to live. I'm like, well, I raised my kids here. It was a great place. Then who is this person?
There's always
I'm like, but then when there's 178 comments, how do I, So I need 178 of you to give me something positive next time. So it's.
I'll be honest with you, those things you should stay out of.
Oh, I don't comment. I just.
Yeah, you just stay out of those because sometimes there's people in those that all they care about is a response. They don't care what the response is. They just want a response. Those aren't necessarily the people that we are looking for.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it still has run off people from coming to our town.
Yeah.
And the apartments, that's fine and dandy, but we need single-family homes that's going to bring in taxes.
No, I know, and I looked at both today. So I looked at a whole hodgepodge of things today. So you got a little bit of everything coming. So, but that's a good point. You're not wrong. But we get sales tax off of apartments too.
I realize that.
So every little bit helps. And I didn't see anything, in my opinion, today that would lead me to believe that, I mean, these projects are moving forward. Some of these projects are half done. Some of these projects have people already living in some of them. So there is progress. Take it from somebody that has an outside perspective to your town. There's more, I'm seeing more progress here than I see down at the Lake of the Ozarks where I came from, and that's Resort Area. So you guys have got some things coming to you, for sure, for sure. Anyway, we're getting, President, we're getting kind of off topic here. Is there, I think I've pretty much answered all the questions I had. I do feel strongly that if you guys are willing, I'd like to help you, and maybe Amanda can help me, but I'd like to help you look at some type of citizen survey that we could do over the winter that I think would really help you guys kind of focus the direction that you want to go, what the community wants to see, and then we can use that data to bring back to the elected officials and say, well, they did a survey, and this is what the results look like, and this is what we got out of this, and this is the top priority and the number 2 priority, and so on and so forth. And I think that would really help. I think that would be something that, especially since it sounds like you guys haven't tried it yet, and you're kind of a fairly new board. So if you're willing to accept my help on that, I'm happy to help with it, and I think it would be a good thing for you. Any input from any of the aldermen would be great as well. For progress. So, anything else, Mr. President, that you want to bring to the board's attention? Feel like you got your questions answered?
I think so.
All right, so let's just recap here real quick so I know what homework I have. I'm gonna get us an update on what's going on downtown. What's the timeline? Who's gonna do it? You're gonna kind of help me on your end, and we'll talk sometime over the next month about that some more, okay? Was that number I called you on your cell phone number?
Yeah.
So I can text you if I need to? Okay, cool. I am going to get some numbers on tinting and some different options, talk to the mayor and the board a little bit more about whether they want me to move forward with that right away or whether we want to put that in next year's budget. So we're going to do that as well. And then on the engineer, and Alderman Sykes and I are going to work on finding out what kind of estimates we have, and hopefully I'll get some additional options from our friend that spoke about the pickleball court. So I think those are the 3 pieces of homework that I have, or that I'm attached to. All right, everybody good? Well, it was really nice to meet you guys tonight. I appreciate it. I appreciate your hospitality, and I look forward to working with you guys.
You guys make one comment before we dismiss?
Yeah.
Okay, since we didn't have time to talk about Christmas, and this is September, so by the time we meet, it's going to be end of October. Amanda and I started working today on the vendor application, so be watching for that information on Facebook and stuff so that you can print it off, share it, send all of your food vendors and businesses there to let us know what type of activity that they want to have or food they're going to sell. And then also, if you've talked to anybody about any type of attraction or activity, let's send an email, shoot me a text, something, because by the end of October, we kind of need to at least have some type of plan formulated so we're not going into, I mean, by then we're going to be like 5 weeks away from the event. So let's do some talking outside of the meeting so we come in prepared to kind of set a schedule and such and map on the October meeting.
You guys can always call special Christmas meeting or whatever.
Yeah, and we may have to do that depending on how fast things go.
I'm going to, I was going to say, I can call a couple of people. I don't know. All-Star, I think, is going to hang up playing the trees. And then the yards that she had, she said.
I'm just gonna ask if all you guys would introduce yourself to Mr. Welty so he could put a name to a face.
I think most of them I already got, but go ahead, because I forget everything.
All right, play Buckler. Don Moore.
Billy Brown.
Dan Huck.
Kathy Johnson.
Andrew Saylor.
And you're the Frisbee golf guy?
Yes.
Pickleball.
Are you any good?
Pretty good.
You pretty good? Good.
Are they looking at doing that?
I was gonna bring that up. I had a few of them reach out, they wanna know if Glow Golf was a thing that we could possibly do again this year.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
Why not?
Well, I just need to know.
Yes, I
I know
would
we
go
had
yes.
some confusion last year on how you wanted to do it, if we were charging or any of that, so I just kind of wanted to know what.
I would send Mr. Welty and Amanda the details on that again. See if you know, just can go ahead and approve it. Because the main thing will be letting the PD know.
Right, yes, right, not a problem.
One last thing, you're not a Raiders fan, are you? Really?
You don't like football, do you?
Is there anything else for bring this to an end here?
No, ma'am, I think that was very productive. I appreciate it.
Public hearing Monday, October 7th at 6:45, regular meeting Monday, October 7th at 7. If there's nothing else, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I make most to adjourn.